Hey everyone, this is Jebro, and today for you I have an engineer build. This is not going to be some kind of meta build where everyone's going to be playing it, but it is a pretty fun build where I feel like I can survive and also do a ton of damage. It's got Celestial Amulet, but it's also got some survivability. Celestial Amulet helps with survivability, but I'm saying that it's got some survivability. So when we look at things like the rune, for example, like Rune of Balthazar, you think, oh no, it's Condi Engineer, I'm squishy as anything, but you'll see exactly in this build what that means. So, let's go quickly through the weapons. Of course, we've got pistol. Pistol's been buffed a bit, and then we've got the shield as well. So now pistol, number of darts 5, got the nice poison tick on there, and of course we've got the usual blindness and confusion on there as well, with the shield and also the blast on the second active ability, and then we've got the throw shield as well. Pistol's pretty nice with this build, obviously, because, you know, we're getting some more conditions off, and the confusion and blindness is pretty strong as well. Also, we've got some nice blast source here with the heal, so we can blast our heal as usual with the turret, and then we can get another blast with the shield, which is obviously pretty good. Let's go quickly over the amulet and the rune. So we're going for Rune of Balthazar, so all condition and burning, of course. And then we've got Celestial Amulet, so giving us some availability to a lot of stats. They nerfed it a little bit, but doesn't really matter at the moment because you've still got that availability to all the different kind of stats that you need in this build, which is very useful, like things like healing power and precision and power as well. So let's start off with going for Firearms, Alchemy and Inventions. Okay, so Alchemy and Inventions are very much going to be, you know, your supportive trees, and then we've got the damage, which is kind of what the old engineer build was like, really. Anyway, we had the kind of two supporty, tanky, healing trait lines, and then we had the damage-orientated one where incendiary powder was. But now that's been moved to Firearms. I've moved to Firearms, and it would have been normally explosives. Now, this line can change. You can go for this, or you can go for explosives, because you can go for the Grenadier trait, which is very strong at the moment. It is actually bugged at present as of the 26th of June, so if you throw grenades, apparently when you take the trait as well, which I've tried out, you can get a ton of extra grenades you're not supposed to get. So that is a bug that should hopefully be fixed fairly soon, but I'm not going to run a build that is pretty much exploiting that, because I don't want to sell that to you as something to use if I don't think it's something you should use. But anyway, people are using it, I don't blame you if you do. But the reason I've gone into Firearms is mainly for that incendiary powder. Otherwise you can go into explosives, but today I'm going to talk about fire alarms. Oh no, fire alarms, no! And Firearms trait line. First of all, sharpshooter, so critical hits have a chance to cause bleeding, that's pretty nice. We've gone for high caliber here. Now there is different traits you can go for here, so you could got an increased critical chance against foes within the range threshold. This synergizes well with something else we'll see very shortly. You could go with this, so your critical chance, critical hits have a chance to give you swiftness and apply vulnerability to your foe. Now the reason I've not gone for this is because I've got mecha legs and I've already got extra speed, but you could get the extra vulnerability stacks there, which would actually be quite nice. And then of course you've got chemical rounds, so your pistol skills have an increased condition duration, so that's actually pretty good. So I'd actually go, you have a bit of a choice here. I've just chosen to go with the extra crit chance so I can get more crits for my IP over in the end of the trait line, sorry. So Hematic Focus, you have increased chance to critically strike against bleeding foes. If you're critting them and bleeding them, then you have extra crit chance. So some people might be asking why I'm not going with rifle in this build. It's because I'm mainly getting the poison and the confusion, because confusion gives a stacking, gives you a condition hit as well, so it starts to do condition damage as well as doing the usual thing that it's supposed to do, of course. And also I like the shield blast and also the shield throw, and the stun is quite nice as well, because interrupting people is quite important at the moment because there's so much damage. Obviously rifle has a knockback and can do a ton of damage itself in CC, but I'm liking pistol shield and I've missed it, and so I've gone back to it. So you could even play rifle in this build in all honesty, and it'll probably do quite a lot of the same damage, but shield is feeling, you know, that extra blast is pretty nice for my survival. Okay, so serrated steel, no scope, you get fury within the range threshold of 240 radius. Pretty nice again with the critical hits, so we're getting extra critical hits all over the shop. So if we're in range of 240, we're getting extra crit, and then probably fury as well, so there's going to be extra chance of getting more crit and damage. And then we got bleeding, you cause last longer, synergizes well with sharpshooter, and then we've got incendiary powder. So your critical hits inflicts burning, so the closer you are, the more crit you do. And the reason I've got shield is because I'm in close range, so I can do a knockback, is so I can hopefully get my burning off on them, get my damage up, and then if I need to, I can CC them with my shield, move in on them again, and then do more damage. That's pretty much why I've gone for it. So it's pretty nice. And you could say that you could do the same thing with rifle, but you know, you're a bit more open with the rifle than you are with the shield, and it's a bit more defensive. Also, you see another reason why I've gone for pistol shield as we go down the trait line. So let's go into alchemy. Let's go for hidden flask first. So drink an elixir B when you're struck when below the health threshold of 75%. So you gain all of those boons there: fury, might, retaliation, swiftness, might, of course, and condition remove because we're in this line. Protection injection, 5-second cooldown at the moment. There's some nice bursts coming out from different sources. Protection uptime is pretty good in this build, so that's what I've gone with indeed. You could go for health insurance, which is a bit more supportive to your team, of course, and when you are getting that blast off that heal and then a blast again with a shield, and you can give even more healing to your allies. Invigorating speed, old school now, probably not going to be gone for much, but if you do go for heavy armor exploit here, I would go for invigorating speed. That's another mix-up I've been going for, the heavy armor and that invigorating speed. That synergizes well together as before, of course, but this is another source of getting swiftness, so you can get that vigor. So next is going to be transmute, so incoming conditions have a chance to convert into boons. That was around before. Backpack regenerator, we all know about this one, so you regenerate HP while you're in a kit, so that's why I've got Celestial, so give me some extra healing stats. You've got Elixir S, get out draw free card there, and also the Elixir Gun abilities that remove conditions now convert them into boons. You can go for these, but this is more sustained healing for sure, and is always very nice in itself. Alchemical tinctures, so throwing or consuming elixirs removes conditions from those effective, and your boon duration is increased. So obviously some condition removal there, as well as boon extension, which then can synergize as well with HGH. So elixirs grant might, they reduce recharge and have increased duration. So that's pretty nice, especially when we've got a lot more availability for elixirs. I'm not 100% sure that they're working as they should be. Throw stimulant is also something else you can get, but you're getting a lot of fury if you're in close range anyway. Iron Blooded incoming damage is reduced for each boon on you, which is kind of nice, you know, because you normally can get all the boons pretty much in a fight. You get a ton of boons other than normally stability, depending on whether or not you're with a Guardian and whatnot, or an Ellie. But, you know, I've gone for HGH because I want the extra might and extra damage, because we have some elixirs in this build. We have Elixir U, we have the Elixir Gun, which now has 2 elixirs on it, as you can see there. It counts as an elixir and another elixir. So you can see 2 might stacks there. We've got Toss Elixir U, obviously that's going to be an elixir, and then we've got the Healing Mist, which is an elixir as well. Pretty nice going, right? I think so. This obviously is not an elixir, but this is a pretty good ability in itself, and we'll talk about it in a moment. But then finally we're going to go into Inventions. So Cleansing Pulse, using heal skills trigger a Cleansing Pulse around you. So that's very, very good coordination over with your heal, of course. Then we go to Overshield. So this is another reason why I went for Shield, because you can get some more protection. So Shield skills gain recharge reduction and grant protection to nearby allies. Love it, son. Love it, Sonny Jim. There we go. We've got the protection and we've got the actual skill itself. There's no cooldown. The cooldown is the cooldown on the weapon. So obviously we got 33 and 22. Which, you know, you could say is quite large, but still, you know, depends how you're using it. You can really, really save yourself with that protection. It's nice. This is the other one I would go for, and you can. It's really a toss-up between these two, because automated medical response and extra heal is very, very powerful, and the 10-second cooldown on that is very good. And with Celestial Amulet, you can get a ton of healing for yourself and for your allies. So you can time that so you can get that back up pretty damn quickly. It's always good to get out of jail free, and I've been keep saying that recently, I don't know why. Heal Resonator. When you're using a healing skill, you apply regeneration to nearby allies. This synergizes well later on. Mecha Legs is my movement speed. This is the combination of leg mods, Jesus, and power shoes. That's right. God, I've almost forgotten the name then. Leg mods did the immobilize, cripple, and chilled less duration time, and then we've got the movement speed from power shoes in there as well. You could go for the trigger combo using a blast finisher, but this is where my speed's coming from. Obviously, we're not using any turrets other than the turrets from the supply crate and the healing turret. So really, it's up to you, but I don't think that's worth it. Energy Amplifier. Your healing power is increased while you have regeneration, synchronizes well with Healing Resonator, and anything that does give you regeneration, for example, for the first skill, and the second skill is giving you regen as well. Sorry, the third skill if you have the elixir gun. And then Bunker Down. Bunker Down being very, very good indeed, and we're getting a lot of crits in this build as well. But when you critically hit someone, now you get the added med kit as well. So you've got some sustain in your own healing and survival, and you're going to be doing a lot of critting in this build, so you will get med kits all the time, and it's very sustainable. Obviously, if you're going up against a class that's going to burst you down, it's going to be tough to get those hits off, to get those little med kits, but when you can, it really does help in some occasions. You can be the judge of that and let me know in the comments below. That's the traits, sigils and whatnot gone through. I'm going to just take you through a couple of these abilities to let you know exactly what they do. Elixir U got a little bit of a buff to it. We've got Break Stun now as well. We've got the Quickness, Frenzy, Haste, Might. Might is for sure. And then we get one of the other selections. So let's just read through it, which grants quickness and applies the benefits of the Warrior's Frenzy skill or the Thief Haste skill. So you definitely get quickness, and you might get Frenzy, or you might get Haste. So that's going to be the Fury, of course, or the Might stacking. So there's a lot of damage coming out of this elixir. 40 seconds cooldown. You do get the removal of the conditions, and it's worth it more with the Break Stun. I think it's pretty nice. I'm kind of happy with this, to be honest, and I've just stuck it in to give me some extra burst damage with my grenades, of course. But that at the moment, if you went to explosives and had that in combination with the bugged grenade trait, then you'd be doing horrible damage at the moment, which would just be immense. Grenade kit, obviously, we are going to go for that. They had one change really specifically for the poison grenade, which now doesn't leave a poison field on the floor. As you can see, it just, puts that condition on the person when they have been targeted and hit, rather than if they run into a field. So, which, I'm not really massively sure why they changed that. I mean, it was pretty nice. I mean, it caused a lot of cleave, and maybe they just wanted grenades to be a little bit more, I don't know, some more focus on the placement rather than just put them anywhere, so just in case someone runs through them, because the field lasted for quite a long time. Elixir, of course, Elixir Gun, you can get some swiftness off that, but it's really for these two elixirs, so you can get four might stacks, sorry, just from that, and also you do get some conditions removed, as you can see there as well. So it's pretty nice. You should get the condition removal, I'm pretty sure. Maybe you don't get it from those. I cannot remember actually for the life of me just now, but obviously you do get the condition removal from this TOS Elixir U. So I'm going to have to double check, and we'll update the description because I actually screwed up there and didn't make a note about that. But we have this TOS Elixir U which does as well, so we've got some might coming off of that, and it gives you two abilities. So let's see which one it gives us first. It's going to give us Wall of Reflection, so of course that reflects projectiles back, which is very nice, especially if you're trying to maybe res someone, or I actually use this for downing things like warriors and whatnot, because they can't knock back, so you plant that in front of them, you down them from behind, and you've got a safe stomp pretty much. And it's the same for some other classes as well. You use a projectile to try and do anything, like an engineered pullback or whatever, and also you get a smoke field in a similar line as well, and you can blast that, you can stealth and then down, or you can stealth your team and move away. We'll see if we get it in a second. I probably won't, probably get Wall of Reflection. Normally I get the smoke field, but hey ho. And we get it again, but you can blast it and you can get some retaliation there, and it's pretty nice. We've got protection as well. So it's it's pretty good. So you can see that exactly, retaliation and protection, because I use the shield skill. So there's some nice synergy in there, you know, for protection. You get the wall of reflection, you get the shield protection skill, you get the shield itself, and you get retaliation to your team, you get protection to your team. So it's kind of supportive in that way, even though it's very offensive. And there could be a very good bunkery kind of support build with the engineer, which I'm definitely going to make in the future. Other than that, of course, we do know now that, let's just check to see if we get it again. Of course I get wall of reflection again. Right, so now we've got the med pack drop separated from the supply crate, which is the big change from supply crate, of course. So we can place that on the ground, and we get a ton of med kits, 6 med kits in all. That's very good, as you can run around and you can get a significant amount of healing, over 1k actually, which is very nice indeed. And then we get the supply crate as well. So what you need to remember is when you put your supply crate down, you don't have the active ability of being able to put these medkits down. So make sure that you're not gonna, you know, kind of screw up your rotation and what you want to do. And if you're gonna put your turrets down, use the stun and whatnot, I guess. And remember that you can overcharge them and then combo it up with the heal. So let's just try this. You know what, I'm going to probably make a mistake here. Overcharge, blast, there we go, and you've got a blast, big old blast here, 1 blast finisher in all. So you get a nice combo, and you can also, you know, combo that up with the shield blast as well, and any other blasts that you do have to get some extra nice healing. So all in all, it's a pretty nice build. You can build up some nice damage. I'll show you now without much effort in a rotation, because I'm still really working out the best one with pistol shield and not having the toolkit. So I mean, I can just show you, for example, we stand very close because that's what we want to do to get our fury and crit chance up. So let's use it for the quickness. Let's get that ability off, and you can see quite a lot of damage comes off, and the condition, you can just see, you know, spam grenades. It's quite a lot of damage there. You can obviously do a bit of a better rotation than that if you stack up your might through your elixirs and whatnot. And we can see that in a minute actually. If I do get the cooldown back in about 15 seconds, I can just spam it again. But the rotation, you know, I'm just doing whatever rotation at the moment because I'm still working out what. It's very situational, obviously, as well, depending on what you want to do. But there's probably a much better rotation than what I'm doing, and if you want to put that below and what you think that would be, I'm not going to pretend I know everything about this build right now because I've played it for 2 days, but it's been pretty fun so far. Let's just try and get some might up. So 4th skill on elixir gun, and the 5th skill and the 4th throw, and let's get that up as well, and blah blah blah. There we go, got even more damage there. So yeah, it would be good to hit with the pistol free first, and we got like 3 or 4 med kits out of that, you know. It's pretty nice. Not the best rotation in the world, but it gives you a good idea of the damage you can do. It would be better to put the confusion on first, then probably using your elixir U and then going through your nades as well as the poison as well. So this has been a engineer kind of condi build. You can use rifle, go into explosives if you want instead of firearms. You've got different options, maybe different options with the sigils as well. But generally, you know, it's all about these 2 trees as well as that firearms trait with the incendiary powder. There's some nice synergy in here with the regeneration and the extra healing power you get, which gives you more sustain in the build. People might argue that the elixir U isn't going to be massively useful, but you know, you can use it for other things as well. Things like quickness stomps, things like quickness reses, they are also very, very useful. We can come over here and actually see as well. I can show you, for example, which, you know, I think quickness was bugged in terms of the stomps and whatnot, because the animation would continue like the bar, and your animation would have completed and the bar was going longer, so it never really felt like it was working completely properly, if that makes sense. Or maybe it was just something with the engineer that was bugged on one of the traits, which was synaptic overload. So let's just see here if I can pull something out. Oh, Jesus. That's the engineer I've got targeted, that's why. Okay, so let's have a look. Obviously, I've not got the quickness anymore, so I'm just going to leave him in the down state for a minute. Kind of screwed up there, that wasn't the idea, but the idea is that the damage that was done was quite high then. This is a bursty NPC as well. Obviously, it's an NPC, he's not going to do much damage to me. So I want to basically make sure that I do get a lot of the potential of the might out of these elixirs to make sure I'm doing a lot of damage. It's not really reliant upon the fact that if you don't do damage then you're kind of screwed. It's not really what it's about, you know. It's more about the fact that you can do this damage and you can actually survive quite well as well. I've been okay on this build. I've been absolutely fine. It's been actually quite nice. So I'm just showing you here. I'm not really doing any kind of rotation, just trying to see if there you go, you got stun break there with the elixir toolbelt skill. You know, you've got still some nice sustain here and damage. It's pretty nice. And there we go, we've got the quickness stomp coming out from the elixir. Bang, works beautifully. You know, that's another good reason to just have that, just in case you're in a team fight and you want to get that down very quickly. Apologies about screwing up there. I wanted to use the elixir before, but I forgot. You know, I kind of got into a rotation mode where I use my elixir to kill someone. And also, you know, you can use your elixir to get some nice burst healing off, because you can use those skills very quickly, of course. So, this has been Jebro. Apologies for the screw up on that combo there, first of all, but we got it off in the end, and yeah. Let me know what you think about this build below, and don't forget to chuck a like, subscribe, check out all the info in the description as well, and I'll see you very soon.